Hi, fiber friends. It's Ginger from In Sheep's Clothing Yarn Shop here in Torrington, Connecticut, and I'm welcoming you to another episode of my Shopcast. So, I have, as usual, I have so many things to show you. I have the Noro Truckshow in. I will not be showing you the whole thing, but I will definitely be showing you some pieces. And if you can look in the back, there's the Truckshow on the rack right there. So we have the Truckshow. I also have the mystery reveal for the my special that I do with the new Noro yarns. I will be showing you that. And I have some new things that have come in, and I just have a lot to share with you today. So sit tight. I hope you have something to drink, maybe a little knitting to knit along with me, because we might run a little long today. We'll see. So one thing that I'm really, really excited about, and I know you're probably going to be saying, man, she talks about Noro all the time. Well, I have to say, Noro is like one of the big things in my shop. I mean, a lot of space is dedicated to Noro here in the shop, and I do get very excited about it. And this time of year is very exciting time for Noro because we have the new Noro magazine out. We have the Truckshow, we have the new Noro yarns, new colorways. So there's a lot to be really excited about with Noro. But what I was really happy about that came in the mail today was color in Curion, color number 102. This is one of the probably most popular colors in Curion. And I don't ever foresee them. Look at those beautiful colors. I don't foresee them ever getting rid of this one, because once it comes in, it is right back out of stock. I got a couple bags. I probably should have ordered more than two. But it's just such a great color because it's bright and happy and fun. And it's also the color. This is a blanket that I made quite a while ago. Let me show it to you right. This is the heart blanket. Now those hearts use color 102, and this is just such a popular blanket. This is a lot of fun to do. I made a little lap size blanket because I just didn't have time to do a full size one, and I'll tell you, having a little lap size is kind of nice, and it is a great size for a child. So this is really, really cute. So anyway, I do have color number 102 for those of you that have been searching and searching for it. It is back in stock. But yeah, I think I'm going to double check on that and see if I can maybe get another bag or two just to hold me over, because they are always gone before I know it. Speaking of Noro, I'll be speaking about Noro all day. But also, I wanted to show you this. One of my customers, Zoe, thank you, thank you, thank you. A few years back, this pattern, this eyelet scarf, was so popular. And here it is. Really gigantic scarf, and one skein of Tsubami, which is now retired, made this shawl. It was a 200-gram ball of yarn, and it was a lot of silk in it, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful yarn. And the colors were wonderful, and it felt great, and it just, one ball did that whole shawl. Well, here is the shawl done in another yarn, another Noro yarn. Now this is, I didn't measure it, but look at this. Look at that stunning colorway. Is that not absolutely gorgeous? Look at that. Yeah, this is very, let me see. It's actually chilly in here, so I don't mind trying this on. Now this is done in the Noro Seiyun. Look at this. Look at those colors. Of course, these are my colors. I love these colors. This is the yarn, Seiyun, which has almost 500 yards in it. Now, I think it wasn't Tassigori, Tsubami. I know that Zoe I think she did 2 balls of yarn for this, because it is a little extra long. I'm not sure how far one ball would get you. But anyway, the colors are gorgeous in this yarn. It is a wool, 70% wool, 30% polyamide, and it's just lovely. The colors of this yarn are just outstanding, but isn't that beautiful? And it just it certainly does that beautiful, beautiful stitch justice. So I still have tons of these these patterns, which are free with any of the Noro yarn purchases that you might want to make this shawl in. But I would suggest, yeah, I should have waited to see how much and measured it too, but it's pretty long. I don't know. I really do think you probably need to go into the second ball of yarn. But look, it's just outstanding. And Zoe is such a beautiful knitter. Her stitches are gorgeous, and she just does a beautiful job. So this is absolutely lovely, and thank you so much. It's letting me borrow it and have it display it in the shop, so I appreciate that. Okay, so not sure which to go into first. We could show you the trunk show. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go into the trunk show, and then I'll talk about the sampler pack later. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do, not next week, the week after, I'm going to do a trunk show with all the garments right here, go into all the details about it, show you the yarns, talk about the sizing and needles and all that stuff. But today what I'm going to do, because I can't resist sharing some of these garments, and I have them, I might as well share them now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all the garments that are done in one of the brand new yarns called Tensson. And Tensson, okay, are you seriously? I don't have a full ball of Tensson here. Oh my goodness. I have wound down balls for my kits to show you. Just 1 second. Okay, so I'm back. So this is Tensson. It's a 150 gram ball. I know I've shown you this yarn before, but let's just refresh your memories on this. It is an amazing 68% silk and 32% wool, and it has 330 yards on there. And you're going to be working this yarn up on anywhere between, they say an 8 and a 10 needle. I've worked it on an 8, I've worked it on a 9. Kind of feel like 10's a little bit big, but I don't know. That's what they're suggesting, but you can check it out yourself and find out. So this is that beautiful, beautiful pink, which is going to be featured in one of the kits that I'm putting together. I adore this color. Now, pink is color number 3. These are up on the website. This is color number 6, which reminds me of the Silk Sari yarns. Love this color. Just think it's outstanding. And beautiful purple. And there's one other color that I'm out of stock of, which is kind of like a lighter version of this. This is color 10. This is also going to be in one of the kits. And then we have this gorgeous color. This is number 5. It's a teal with some coral color in there. And then there's also, I didn't grab all of them. Oh, there's this colorway here that's done in one of the garments, just so that you can see the color. This is another color that's featured in one of the kits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you in the magazine the garments, all in Tensson, and I'll show you all the garments as well. So, okay, so in our Noro magazine, so far this has been probably one of the most popular pieces in the magazine. And, whoops, almost lost her. Almost losing her. There we go. Okay, I'm going to say that this trunk show, and I've been doing the trunk shows, I'm probably going to say about at least 6 years, spring and winter. This is my favorite trunk show. I love all the garments that are in it. All the pieces I would happily make, with one of them I wouldn't make. I like the design of it. I know I wouldn't make it. But all the other garments that are in this trunk show, I would make. And this is one of them. Now, I thought, this is called Ire. And this simple little vest, I did not realize it when I looked in the magazine. This is why having the trunk show is so, so important. Because you see things that you don't necessarily notice in the magazine, and unless you really read the pattern, you don't know either. Well, I did not realize. When I looked at the magazine, I saw the shoulders here, the armholes here, and I just thought to myself, oh, they did some kind of little shaping. No, they did not. This is so, so simple. I'm going to show you this really close. I love what they did because this piece is only 2 rectangles. And what they did when they came from the underarm, they started to do rib. And that little bit of rib moved the armhole in a little bit. That doesn't make it look so boxy. Just a little bit of shaping, and I think it's so simple, yet it's so genius. And if you notice, this is reverse stockinette. We actually, one of the gals here said, oh, let's check out what it looks like on the inside. So let's do that. Okay, so reverse stockinette, because we were talking about, can you do this reversible? Absolutely. The only, oh, well, I'll show it to you and then I'll make my commentary about it. Okay, so it's so, so simple. So there you go. So here you just have the stockinette. You don't notice the ribbing quite so much, but if you don't want so much texture, you could certainly do stockinette for your right side. Of course, you have your side seam, so you have to kind of, this you can't really make reversible unless you did it in the round to the underarms and just did a really, really, well, I mean, I know I see, and I think there's a couple garments where the shoulder is done like this purposely. So this could be done either way. But yeah, so there's the, because it looks so nice and stockinette on this side. And actually there's a sweater here that I can show you that that's how it's knit up with this, you know, the right side facing. But this is such a cute little vest, and sizes on this go 37 up to 52. You know, if you needed to make it bigger, add a few more stitches, this is such an easy piece to do that too. It takes between 2, 3, or 4 balls of the Tensson for this. What a nice, easy project. So, yeah, super, super popular so far, this piece. So let's put her back on here again. There we go. Okay, so that is Ire. And then, might as well show all the sweaters. And then we have this really pretty sweater here. Now this is done with stockinette. I'll just leave it on the mannequin. I'll take it off in a second. There's no buttons in the front. I just put a little closure there to keep it closed. Let me find that sweater in the magazine. This one is called Juno. And this is going to fit 37 to 55. And here it is on, I should always show that. There it is on the model. And what's really cute about this, and I almost didn't notice it, again, another reason for having these trunk shows is, whoops, I'm gonna lose it. There we go. Okay, so it's just a very simple drop shoulder cardigan, but what it has is this cute little knit purl patterning on the cuff and on the bottom of the sweater, and this is knit in pieces. So there you've got the stock, that pretty little patterning at the bottom around the back, but the rest of it's just stockinette, ribbed bottom. And then, I mean, I suppose if you wanted to add buttons you could, but it does not have buttons on it. But this feels really, it's just a soft, cozy sweater. And this takes 4 to 5 balls of the Tensson, and it's done on a 7 to 8 needle. So even this sweater, which you might think maybe doing it on a 10, they're not going that direction. So I'm kind of thinking, I don't know, they put it up on the label as working on a 10 needle, but I kind of don't think, because with the silk you don't want it to stretch that much, so I'm not sure that I would really want to work this yarn on a 10. Okay, so let's put this girl here. Okay, so there she is. Okay, so that's the Tensson. And then there's some accessories. And super easy, super fast little cowl. This is great for a little beginner's project. It's just seed stitch. It takes one ball of the Tensson. And this, what do they call it? I don't know if they give it a name. Yeah, actually they do. Autumn Rivers. Here it is on the model. There you go. But, you know, choose your favorite color. Okay. So just a cute little cowl. And then this is really adorable. You know, I never thought much about hoods because I'm not a hood person, except on my coat when it's raining or it's really bad and I need to throw the hood on. But generally, I'm not a hat person. This is really cute, and I would really consider this for the winter because it's really cute. This is simply a strip. I'm gonna actually see. I don't like to put hats on, but I will put this on just so that you can see. It's a hood. It's gonna mess up my hair all bad. Okay, but it's a hood, and this is a horrible color for me. But anyway, it's a hood, and then it has these long, so that you can wear it like a scarf, or tuck it, fold it up and cozy up and tuck it into your coat. This takes 2 balls of, look at that. What I love is, look at this pretty stitch that they did here. And then there's this really deep ribbing. Now, all that this is, oh yeah, that's what I'm going to look like for the rest of the show. Okay, so all they did was this long strip. They folded it in half, and then you do a seam. Oh, this is the wrong side. Then they do this seam, and that's the back of your hood. And there you go. It's so simple. I mean, you could do any number of stitches if you wanted, but I think, and this is another thing about this issue, is I think the designs are just, they're not like major. A lot of them are really kind of on the simple side, but they have wonderful details. And this is one of those, because see how this is ribbed, which I think is great for the hood part of your head. And then you have this beautiful, you want it to be flat and not to fold in, and look at how beautiful that is. It lays nice and flat and makes a beautiful edging. So again, in your favorite color, and this such a nice gift. I mean, I would wear this. I would wear this. So that is very cute. And I think I said it takes 2 balls of the Tensson to make that. And I think those are all the garments, all the Tensson garments that were in the magazine. So that's what I'm going to share with you today, are those garments in the Tensson. And the next time I see you, I will do another grouping from the Noro. And I think what I'm going to do is, starting next week, is I'm going to pop up live on Facebook and just do a little, because all the garments are just so nice that it's just a shame to have them sitting here waiting for one big display. I want to display them all. And I want to talk about them all and not wait to the end. So you can watch for those if you are on Facebook. Okay, so that was okay. So then what I should do is, let's segue into my Noro mystery sampler kit. Okay, so every year, if you don't know about this, every year when I do the Noro trunk show, I do like a yarn tasting. Okay, so, and I think I discussed this last week, because I kind of, anyway, there's 2 new yarns. One of them is not available until December. One of them is available now, the Tensson. So what I've been doing lately is, because this has been coming up like this, is let's just do what I can, and not necessarily, what I used to do is like have 6 different yarns that were featured in the magazine, 2 or 3 of them which would be brand new ones. So what I've been doing lately is, and I started out with just yarn tasting, just the little samples. But then I thought, something, it's way more fun if you can actually have something to show for your sampling of the yarn. So I came up with mitts, I came up with some cowls, and we did that. So this year, I don't know, it was kind of brain dead. And I worked all weekend, last weekend, coming up with because I like to have something, that's just my shop exclusive pattern. And I was having such a tough time because what I was trying to do was to take the Tensson and now this is brand new. There's only some sample balls of this. Like I said, it's not available until December. This is the Coma. And I was trying to put these two together in a project. Now, they're supposed to both, actually, let me just double check this before I say it. They don't say it on here. Okay, they're calling this a worsted weight. I'm calling this a DK light worsted weight. This yarn they're calling a worsted weight, but I'm saying worsted kind of Aran-y weight. So we've got a little discrepancy here between putting these two yarns together. And that's what I was trying to do, was to blend them both together, maybe add another yarn in it. It wasn't working. Just wasn't working. So then I said, you know what? Does it have to be an original pattern? Can't I just dig back into Noro and find something that would work with the yarns, that, we could just do something else? And it didn't take long for me to find the perfect pattern. What I did do before I started this other pattern, though, was I did find out something that would work well with the Tensson, keep it by itself, and also use it with another yarn. And so what I did, I only made one so far. I will get the other one done. But I made a pair of mitts. Now this is going to be part of the sampler pack. So the pattern will be in here. You will have the yarn to do a pair of mitts. You will also, I was in a hurry, I don't usually add a thumb anyway. But the pattern is written so that you can add a thumb. There's enough yarn so that you can add a thumb to it. And so that's the Tensson, and then the trim is done in Malvinus. Okay, so hold that in your head. So there is one pattern from me, and then I found this cowl. And this, let me find the pattern so before I show it to you. And I think I might have actually, oh, yes, it's in here. Yes, it's here. And I think I might have used this as a kid a few years back. But there's this slip stitch cowl. So there we go. Now this was done with Silk Garden Solo, and Silk Garden. So I said, well, let's just do it with the yarns that I want to feature. Because although Silk Garden and Silk Garden Solo are featured in this magazine, my last couple projects did have Silk Garden, so I didn't want to do that again. So what I chose to do was, okay, well, this is my cowl. So here we go. So this is the Malvinus with, I still haven't blocked it out yet, but this is the Malvinus for the trim. And then I used Seiyun. And the other night, I went home, was going to finish up the cowl so I would have it ready for you today. And what did I do? I brought home the purple. I did not bring home the Seiyun. It was sitting on my desk. And I did not feel like going back out to the shop, even though it's not that far away, to go pick up the yarn. So I looked around, and in my bag, wouldn't you know, I had these are Silk Garden. But this just goes to show you that you can pull your odds and ends of different colors and just put them together. So anyway, finish the cowl up. So this is the cowl. Now, what I decided to also do is give you another, because I'm the option gal. I love people to have lots of options. I like to have options. I like to be able to change things as much as I can. So anyway, I was looking at this and I was saying, this would make a nice hat, right? Because I was looking at it saying this is a much smaller, because it's an older pattern, it's a much smaller, closer to the neck cowl than what that we're not used to doing those anymore. But look at that. what a nice hat. So what I did was I wrote up a little pattern giving you directions as to using this pattern up to here, and then I just put in hat crown shaping for the hat. You're going to do the hat on a little bit smaller size needle. This, when I put it over my head, it's like, okay, I've got a big head. This is fine on me. I would probably do the ribbing just a little bit smaller, or do it on a smaller needle. So I wrote up the pattern up with giving you a smaller, I've got fluff flying around here, a smaller needle for the ribbing, 2 sizes smaller, and then a smaller needle for the hat, the body of the hat, and then and then you go back to, did I write the pattern that way? I don't think, I have to check my pattern. I'm not sure if I mentioned going back to a smaller size needle for the top. I guess you don't need to. You probably don't need to. It's fine, because you have to decrease up here. So anyway, I spent a little time fooling around with that today, so that you have, in the pack, you will get the cowl pattern, you will get my pattern for the mitts, and then you will also get the addendum to how to make a little hat. So you have a choice of making a hat or a cowl, although you might possibly have some yarn left over that you could fool around and maybe get a hat also. I try to make sure that you've got plenty of yarn so that, you'll have extra and not be short yarn. That's like the worst thing, to have anybody say I ran out of yarn. And then, okay, so I also have this. I want to make sure that I don't forget everything I want to talk about. So now let me show you. So these are the color combos that I can put together. And if you have any kind of special requests, because I've got a lot of leeway, because I can kind of play with some of the yarns. So I have pink, purple, and teal versions of this. So here we go. So this is Malvinus, this is the Tensson. So your Malvinus is going to be your solid for your trims. And then I have this combo. This is probably hard for you to see, but there you go. So this would be for the cowl or hat, mittens, mitts, and your trim. So that's one combination, and then you get, of course, your patterns in there. Let me see, and then they come like, where's all my stuff? Okay, wait a minute. Oh, here we go. Okay, so here's the pink. So this is how it's, and I dropped it. Everything around to drop. It dropped and it bounced across the room. Okay. Just 1 second. I'm getting really good at this. Okay, so back. So these mesh bags are very slippery and they just bounce. So this is what the pink kit would look like. Okay. And then you also get, and you could also choose to, if you already have your magazine, you can order the option just with the kit, but you can also get the option that comes with the kit, the new magazine, and then you will also get one of my tote bags to go with it. So you get all that. So that's the pink. And then this is the purple. This is what I did. So here we go. Here's our purple combination. And that looks like this. Now, no two will be the same. You'll get different variations, especially this. You will get, these two will be, the Tensson and this will be consistent. This is going to be the wild card. You will have different color combinations in every one. So nobody's cowl or hat will ever look the same. So that's the purple version. And then we have the teal version, and these are the colors. So again, these are your constant colors, and then you're going to get, this looks a little dull, but I also have some other colors that I can put with this, but it's whatever, it's whatever you're going to get. But this will look nice together. So that's the teal, or if you want, this would be great too. Although this would kind of overlap a little bit, but that would be great. So if you wanted like a deeper, a brighter, more contrasting, you can put that in your notes. I want a contrasting colorway, and I will certainly make that happen. Okay, so then that kit would look like this. See, this one here has a little bit more turquoise in it, so it just depends on which one you get. Okay. Okay, so that's that. And I think there was one other thing. Oh, and then, okay, then I just wanted one other detail about this. So that is the mystery revealed, but also that does not include, you're also going to get, because I got the samples, so I got a couple balls of this colorway in the new yarn Coma, and then I got this one single skein in the Coma. So you will get a small kind of luxury yarn tasting amount of this yarn so that you can knit it up. Now maybe in some of these kits, like if you got the pink, you could add that to your cowl if you wanted, cowl or hat if you wanted to. I do have a little something up my sleeve that I'm going to knit up this weekend. I know it'll be adorable and it'll be cute, and I'll just throw this little extra little, a little mystery thing that you can make that will be just enough to use some of this yarn up with. So you'll get that. It'll be just a little yarn tasting, but you will get both brand new yarns to try out. Okay, very excited. And also what I should say about this yarn. Okay, the Tensson, what did I just do with the big ball? Okay, the Tensson is very different, as I was saying before, from this yarn, from the Coma. This, to me, this has a lot of texture to it. It's very nubby, and it's nice. I mean, I knit with it, it's fine. However, my perfect yarn is actually this yarn blend. And this blend, the Coma, it's a nice weight. I love the feel of it. The sweaters that I have felt that were knit in this yarn feel very soft, and they're the fiber blend that I love. They're the fiber blend that just makes my heart go pity pat. This is 45% wool, 35% mohair, and 20% silk. Oh, such a nice blend. Such a nice blend. I love how it feels. So anyway, this one I'm very excited about knitting up. Very, very excited about knitting this up. So I can't wait for this yarn to come in. Okay, so that's it about Noro for the day. And okay, I also wanted to tell you, well, almost done with Noro. I had started doing a hat because those needles. Oh, that's the other thing I dropped. Right here. Okay, the flight needles that I introduced last week. Okay, so I said that I was going to knit a hat. I had cast on a hat, and I was going to use these needles and decide whether I like them a lot or not at all, or maybe just a little bit. I have decided that I do really like them. I'm not typically a metal needle person, but I do like the tips on them. They are very pointy. I did have to adjust how I knitted so that I wouldn't be stabbing my fingers trying to push the stitches, but I figured that out really fast. So I did knit this hat. And I had talked about my faux Fair Isle hat. So this is what I knit up. Oops, got something on there. So this was silk Garden. And then the background was Hanui silk, which is a wool and silk blend. And it's so soft. It's so soft. I was going to put a pom-pom on it, but I realized I only have like bright white with black tips. I just didn't have the right color. So I have to actually order some more pom-poms, and I'll find something that is suitable for this hat, because I do want a pom-pom on it. But it's really soft and it's lovely. It's really lovely. But I did have absolutely no problem using these needles. And the other thing I wanted to say about these needles, is quite often when I'm knitting with interchangeable needles, and I love it because look at this. I'm holding these and I am swiveling these, and they just swivel away, which is so nice. I knit the whole hat, and then I also worked my cowl because these is my favorite size 8 needles. So I did knit the body of the cowl with this needle, and I was trying to like untighten these needles. They are so tight on there that I will used to have to use the pin to take them off and to put another set of tips on there, which actually reminds me, oh, that's what I want to do this weekend as well. Is I want to take this hat and take this cowl, and I'm going to knit the hat version in a different colorway. Um, but I need to use a size 7 for the body on this to snug it up a little bit. So I'm going to use these needles again. But anyway, what I was saying was I did a hat, I did the cowl, and these needles have not budged. They are not coming apart. So I think that is a definite plus when it comes to metal needles, if you want to consider that. Because I really do love the idea of interchangeable needles. Because then you almost always have the needles that you need when you need them, and in the cord size that you need when you need them. So I think that's really such a plus for these needles. And yeah, so I have to make sure that I grab the size 7 tips. I'll put that here, and hopefully I remember that and not have to make a trip back tomorrow to figure that out. Okay, so let's see. So I think, yes, so that's all about Noro is done. Let's see. And then what else do I want to talk about? I got some new kits in. These, now I've gotten other versions of this kit. These are from Hardy Craft. And I'm not sure where these are from. Denmark? I shouldn't say that because I don't know exactly where they're from. But I had a customer that has been making a bunch of these. Now these are those little stuffed animals, and she wanted a couple other ones that I did not have. So I said, that's fine. We'll get another assortment in. So this is Esther Mouse. Now these have the elongated arms and legs. I think that's so cute. So I have Esther Mouse, and then I decided to get the panda. And this is Nice Panda. And these are all knitted. Isn't that cute? And then also I got, I'm sorry for crunching here, their paper. Okay, and then I have this one, Sandy Fox. One of those elongated ones. The yarn is like this really kind of peachy color, corally peach color. And then, this is, my customer wanted this, the Sunny Elephant. Isn't that cute? There's also a bunny. There's a bunny. I think I have 2 different ones that are this kind of flat body, but I think that's really, really cute. So anyway, so those are new that have just come in. So I'm happy about that. And I know there was something else that I wanted to, oh, I got a bunch of magazines here that I wanted to share with you. I knew I wasn't finished yet. So, new magazines. Get these out of here. And this weekend, I have a birthday party to go to tomorrow. And then next weekend, I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to do the show. Let's see, come back. Not sure when I'm going to be able to do the show next weekend, but I'll find a time because we have, I'm not going to be in the shop Friday and Saturday. Got another family thing going on. So I'm figuring that little Missy Noelle is going to be going on a little adventure next weekend, and maybe tomorrow. So I have to make sure that she comes along for the ride. We are working. Orders have been coming in for the advent calendar, which are going to be Noel, and I'm not sure, I don't think I've said it, but there's going to be Noelle and Nicholas, because I said they were going to be her partner, friend, buddy. Nicholas is going to be with her. And yeah, so I can't wait for you to see the Christmas outfits, the holiday outfits. I think they're gonna be really cute. And these can still, I keep talking about them as dolls, which I've had so much fun taking the clothes on and off, trying them on, and it, it's been so much fun. It's just been so much fun. And I just lost what I was going to say because I got distracted. Yeah, I don't know what I said. It'll come back to you hopefully once I start talking some more. But anyway, I got some new magazines in this week, and actually a book that I'm not sure that I mentioned last week, so I want to mention that also. But I re-subscribed to the Ply magazine, and you can just Google Ply. It's for hand spinners, and I resubscribe because this is all about plants, and I love anything that's anything. I just remembered something else that came in new, but I'll talk to you about that next time, because it's plant fiber, and they do a beautiful job with Ply magazine. It's just so beautiful, and there's always some patterns in here. They're talking about nettle fiber. They're talking about cotton, linen. This just makes me happy. I just love this kind of stuff. And it's a really pretty, they call it wildflower honey shawl that, you don't have to spin to make some of these things. I'm sure you have some yarn stashed away that you could pull out, and that would be perfect for this. But I just finished downloading. It was like a little, you paid for it, and I forget who it was through, but it's about prehistoric fiber work. And they're talking about nettle and linen and all that stuff. So I've yet to, I think I watched one episode of it. I think there's 4 episodes, so I need to watch the rest of that. But I'm excited about that. But it's a great magazine. But they're always featuring, they have sheep, they have llama, they do anything about hand spinning. So it's a wonderful magazine. So all you have to do is just Google Ply magazine and just go ahead and order it. I'll look and see if I can. I'll try to remember to put a link to the magazine for you down below. Now, another magazine that just came in today, and as you can see, I already have some things that I want to do in here. Piecework magazine. Now, I've gotten this on and off, and for a while they were saying, getting too many magazines. Well, now I don't feel like there's that many fiber magazines out there anymore, so I'm getting Piecework again. But I mean, aren't those beautiful mittens? I love the little pom-pom details at the hem there. So anyway, let me show you the things that absolutely, okay, I've been always wanting to make these. These are knitted Lithuanian wrist warmers. Those are beads. Aren't they pretty? I think they're just beautiful. And anyway, so there's a whole article about Lithuanian, but here's the pattern, which I absolutely love and I want to make. But there's the pattern for the mitts. It has a little crochet detail there. I love knitting with beads. I don't get that much opportunity to do it, but I want to make these so much. They're so pretty. They are so pretty. And I love wrist warmers because they really do. They do warm you up. So anyway, that was something I was happy about. Of course, these mittens, I'm going to read about those. Those are so pretty. I love the embroidery. Really, really pretty. Dalarna mittens. And Sweden. So they're a Swedish mitten. So basically you make the mitten and then you embellish it with those beautiful embroidery. Okay, this is the other thing that I want to make because this reminds me, that's right, that's why I had the hat out. Okay, because this would go really, really nice. My hat, because this is very. See the design there? I love this. It's knit in the round, so there's no, so it's in a tube. I think that's such a pretty farewell scarf. So, so pretty. So I would like to make that very, very much. So there's some really, really pretty things here in this magazine. So those are my top. There's a lot of embroidery articles in here. There's just a lot of other stuff. Um, but those were the things that piqued my interest and that I really would like to do something with. So Piecework Magazine, Long Thread Media. I'll put the, if I had enough people that wanted, I have carried the magazine in the shop, but I just, if I had more people that were interested in purchasing it, I would have it in the shop. So let me know if that's something that you think that you're interested in. I could always get them in the shop. Otherwise, you can just, order or subscribe from Long Thread Media to get this magazine. Okay, and then this is what I'm not sure if I mentioned this. The Shetland Wool Week. I got the annual in a week or so ago. And as usual, it is great. There's so many things in here that are just great. Oh, look at these gloves. Now, this is something I don't carry, but you can order these. You can order these directly. You just look on I'll get the link for you, but it's through Shetland Wool Week, and you can order there. Look at this beautiful hot water bottle. You know what? I think I probably did talk about this. I think because I fell in love with that, and I think I mentioned it. I don't know. I get confused between this and my Facebook show, but you know what? I think I forgot to mention it on my Facebook, so I probably did mention this book. But anyway, yes, loving the book, and I will put the link for that book so that you can get one yourself. Okay, and then I'm just thinking. I know there was a bunch of stuff I wanted to talk about, but I'm looking to see how long I've been talking. About almost an hour. A little more than 3/4 of an hour. Doesn't sound so bad. Okay, well, it is the end of the day on a Saturday afternoon. Time for me to get home, figure out what we're going to do at dinner tonight. The age-old question. God, I hate making. I just really, really have gotten to the point I hate cooking. I'm just looking around to see if there's anything else that I forgot about. But I think that's it. So I'm going to let you all go. I appreciate you watching, and I hope that you have a great rest of the weekend, whatever time that you're watching this. And if you're new, thanks for watching. If you're new, or if you haven't already, if you'd like to subscribe and get a I was going to say get a warning, but that's not the word that I want. Get a notification. It could be warning, but you can get a notification of when the show is up. I usually try to do it on the weekends so that it's up for Sunday. Sometimes it varies. Once in a great while, I skip a week, but that's only usually if there's something really comes up. But anyway, you all have a great whatever, and I hope you find lots of time to knit, crochet, whatever crafting that makes you happy, and I will see you again next week. But thanks for watching. You all take care. Bye-bye.